Hey guys, just about to play round one in our Magic Origins draft. Not really sure why there's a clock ticking. That didn't used to be. Usually it would just make pairs. I guess we're not as close as I thought we were to round one. That's a recent update that there's 2 minutes after decks are submitted, I guess. So I'll be back in a minute or so with when the round actually begins. All right, well that was weird. It ticked down for like 6 more seconds and then started. So I guess the clock didn't really mean anything, but let's see what we get in our... All right, we won the die roll. I'm going to stick this over here, which is handy to know to do. If you don't know, you can do it. And I would like to play first. And I think this is a keep. We've got a 2-drop and then a really powerful 4-drop and a pretty good 5-drop and one that's really good to play after playing a Whirler Rogue. So we'll lead with Forest and end our turn, obviously. Our opponent also leads with Forest. Okay, I think I'm more inclined to just play... doesn't really matter a whole lot, but I think I'm going to play the Guard first. I mean, next turn we'll play the Elvish Visionary unless we draw a 3-drop. But I think it's good to drop just, when we don't have to instead of having to do it later. And yeah, there's Honored Hierarch not being impressive because there's a Maritime Guard in play. Now we'll play our Elvish Visionary before we do anything else. I'll probably swing into that thing because I can just chump it with my Elvish Visionary. Although, if he has removal, yeah, it's probably not worth it because things can get pretty silly if he has removal to... So he is making me play a little differently since he got it out on turn 2, which is almost as good as turn 1, but not quite. I forgot to play land that turn, didn't I? I just noticed that. Good job on my part. It's going to put us a little behind. Would have been able to play our Whirler Rogue right now. But yeah, that was a huge whiff on my part. And I don't have any good excuse for it other than carelessness. Alright, yeah, we would have been able to go Whirler Rogue into Rock Smaulers. Swung with the Rock Smaulers, but now we don't get to do that. So, my apologies. Not the best of play going on so far. Hopefully the power of our cards can overcome my silly play. I'll just take 3 here if he swings with the Brute. I mean, I can theoretically double block him, and maybe I will. He can only kill one of them, actually. Yeah, I probably will double block. Why not? Alright, that's actually pretty sweet use of that card. Now I think I do block Honored Hierarch, as much of a nuisance as he can become. I can't block the other guy anyway, and yeah, so that's what we're going to do. And, okay, that's a pretty good draw. Things would have been so much different if we actually did this when we could have done it. But it's still pretty great right now. Here I think I just take the Honored Hierarch and just, deal with the consequences of that. I can also disperse the Honored Hierarch now if I really feel like that's a problem. I can also disperse like any large creature he plays, which is pretty great tempo. But ideally, I want to play Rock Smaulers, make it unblock. Well, I can't make it unblockable right away, so. But I don't want to be blocking here, is my point, because I want to keep the Whirler Rogue and both my artifacts for the unblockability. Let's see what our opponent does here. He may just kill Whirler Rogue anyway, in which case I probably would just chump the Honored Hierarch. Okay, Call of the Full Moon. Alright, he is a 6/4 with Trample. We are just going to take that because we have Disperse and we can deal with it at a later time. We can also just play 2 spells and deal with it. Like, if he plays a spell now, it falls off of him, so he's not motivated to do so, which is good. It is kind of a problem. Like, we want to be able to play our Rock Smaulers right now. If I take it again, I go to 5. Man, not playing my land. Pretty basic Magic 101 was pretty brutal. Especially in a format like this one. I've got Disperse. I've also got Rock Maulers. Hits me for 6, I go to 5. He can only play one spell next turn or his guy shrinks again. So, and I can also play my Aspiring Aeronaut to get another Thopter if that ends up being necessary next turn. So I think I still play the Maulers. Yeah, I do. I play the Maulers. And I will swing with one of these, keeping another back, in case our opponent's crazy aggressive on us. Would have been nice to be able to play a second spell there. Next turn we can, so we may just disperse the Honored Hierarch because of, or whatever else he plays, like play one of these and then Honored Hierarch. Okay. I think I just take it. Just going to take it. Feels like double Giant Strength, then, so be it. Okay, so this looks okay for us. Ooh, Titanic Growth. So we know he has that now. So if we play 2 spells this turn, this falls off of his dude, right? Yes. So I think we can be pretty aggressive here because we're going to make this fall off of him. He's going to turn into a 3/2. And I'm going to play Aspiring Aeronaut, who can just, him and his artifact token can double block. And I'm going to disperse, I guess, the Honored Hierarch, because why not? Just to get 2 spells cast, basically. I'd rather bounce that than Llanowar Empath, I guess, is what I'm saying. Bouncing the Boggart Brute just straight up might just be better, though. And getting rid of that aura. We also know he's got that combat trick in his hand, so we could even save it, the Disperse, for the use of that trick. So we do need to leave at least 2 blockers back, but Aspiring Aeronaut will let us do that. Okay, so we're going to use Whirler Rogue's ability. Whirler Rogue will also be untapped, in a moment of problems for us. Make our Rock Mauler unblockable. Swing in. He gets bigger. And yeah, so I'm going to play 2 spells here, one of which is the Aeronaut, because it gives me more blockers to try to stave off that Titanic Growth. And the other is going to be a Disperse. I just need to choose a target for it. The Boggart Brute is still a problem, even if that thing falls off of it because of Menace and Titanic Growth. And I can actually just hold on to my Disperse until he uses his Titanic Growth. So I think that's what I do. Although, if it doesn't fall off of him, yeah, well, I'll just bounce him after he attacks. Yeah, that's what we'll do here. We have to block everything if he attacks with all 3. Is the bad news. Okay, he's not attacking with all 3. Okay, so I'm just going to use Disperse because I have to commit 2 blockers to that guy, and I just don't want to have to do that. And here, I'm just going to put the Aeronaut in front of that. Okay, let's see what he's got now. Be nice to just top deck our big spider right now. Ram Roller, not especially intimidating right now. Okay, Stratus Walk, not great right now. You use it to draw a card if nothing else. I'm going to play our Llanowar Empath and then see if that draws me a card and make a decision based on that. Okay, so we're going to put both on the bottom and hope we hit a creature. We do have a lot of them. Chances are not bad, but we hit another land, which isn't great. So we know he's got Titanic Growth. He can attack with all 4 of his creatures next turn, and we'd be forced into bad blocks. He can even take down our Rock Smaller with like his Ram Roller. So that's not great. I'm just going to swing with Rock Smaller. We have enough blockers, and Rock Smaller, you know, we can trade with enough stuff when he attacks that Rock Smaller will end up representing a pretty significant threat. I could just put Stratus Walk on him to make it so he can't block here, but I'm perfectly happy for him to double block here, so. I'm going to hold on to the Stratus Walk in case, you know, hitting him for 6 in the air becomes, like, you know, incredibly important next turn. I doubt it will, but hey, no reason to play it, so I won't. Sure wish I'd played that land earlier. We would have come out ahead, I'm almost positive, in this. Right, Ram Roller has to attack. He swings with everyone, as expected, and we're forced. We'll do that. I'm going to try my hardest to keep that. We'll double block here, and we'll single block here. So we will kill everything but his Ram Roller, depending on how he uses Titanic Growth here. He'll be able to save something and kill something of mine. Maybe he uses it on Boggart Brute. Yeah, that makes sense. That does make sense. All right. So I am left. Okay, we're 1 away from lethal, so although that Skyraker Giant makes our lives a lot more difficult. We know Forest is on top, which isn't great. We've got to play Stratus Walk and try to draw into something basically here. I feel like anyway. Maybe we don't. I'm going to have to block with my Whirlorogue. If I play Stratus Walk, it means my guys can't block. I could play it on a Skyraker Giant, but then that gives it flying. So I think it's best not to play it, actually, in this situation. So we're just going to pass the turn, see what he can do. We're going to get hit by the Boggart Brute, like, for sure. So that's not great. Because I'm not going to double block the Boggart Brute because I would take lethal. So if he has a combat trick, we die. Right, he swings with everybody, as expected. Okay, so Rock Smallers is going to try to take that out. This is going to block here, and we'll take the 3 from Boggart Brute. All right, we both lose a guy, but I lose 3 life as well. Oh, yeah, we're pretty much toast here. Missing the land drop that we didn't actually, you know, miss was definitely a mistake. Trying to think if there's anything we can draw here that wins us the game. Let's find out. I don't think so, though. Nope. All right, we can see this one. Like I said, pretty sure if I'd actually played my land when I should have, that probably would have been a game 1 win, so it's no fault of our decks. Our deck is pretty good. We did fail to draw any removal other than Disperse, but we also don't have a lot. I think I want Hitchclaw Recluse. We did see enough Thopters, and he's good at blocking enough things that I think I want to bring it in. And I think I cut maybe a Stratus Walk. I mean, it ended up being pretty bad there. That may just be sort of a gut reaction to how bad it was in that game, but I really don't want it right now. So we're going to go with this. All right. Let's remember to play our lands the turn we're supposed to play them, guys. That's the key to winning. Okay, this is a fine hand. All right. Probably play the Visionary first, especially if we haven't hit a land drop to try to get to it. Yeah, now I'll play Herald of the Pantheon just because he's some early beats. And yeah, I think I swing with the Herald and then play Watercourser and just try to curve out against him. Yeah, things are looking pretty good for us in this one, aggressive-wise. You know, we have Anchor to the Aether and Disperse to just keep smashing him with these two. So that's pretty good. Ooh, and we got that too, huh? I think I just swing into this thing. If he wants to block, then I might use Titanic Growth. I also might not. Yeah, I didn't think he was going to block. So I'm going to play Elvish Visionary. In an ideal world, I'll hit a land and also be able to play Maritime Guard and just, you know, screw that guy over. If we don't, then I think I'm okay with that, but we didn't, so that's all right. He attacks and plays something like Skyraker Giant. Would be my guess. That was a good guess. Okay, so we're gonna swing into this, and if he doesn't block, okay, we got a land too, which isn't irrelevant. Yeah, we're gonna swing into this. Use Titanic Growth to kill it if we need to. All of our guys can survive if we Titanic Growth. If he doesn't do that, I'll Anchor to the Aether it. Actually, I'll probably play Maritime Guard and then wait to use Disperse on it at a later time. That way I can, you know, play another dude. So let's just swing with everybody. And if I Titanic Growth, I'll also play the Maritime Guard, as you might imagine. Okay. We'll play our Maritime Guard. We can also use Titanic Growth on Maritime Guard to pretty good effect if we want to, but I'd rather save it for, like, next time he's like, yeah, I'll just take that, and we can just say, okay, Anchor to the Titanic Growth, you know, and really punish it. If he tries to play an Aura here, I'm pretty happy too. Okay, Sword. Not bad. He can try to equip it to something, and I'll bounce whatever he tries to equip it to. Then he can't equip it to anything, so... Now he's just left with his big giant. I think we just have lethal now with Titanic Growth. He could have Fiery Impulse, so it's worth thinking about. Ooh, Whirler Rogue. Immediately make something unblockable. I think I just swing and see how he blocks, and then decide whether or not I use Titanic Growth. If he lets something with 3 toughness in, I think it's pretty likely I use it. If he doesn't, then I might not. Okay, so this is 2, 3, 4. Actually, it's only 8, so it's not enough to make me want to use Titanic Growth in that way. So what do we do here? I get Titanic Growth, and I think that is what I do on my Watercourser. If he'd taken the Watercourser, it would have been lethal. So he's playing around the Titanic Growth, I guess. So we'll just take down the Skyraker Giant and take him down to 5. Ah, so they kill each other now. Okay. Well, it's a 2 for 2 instead of what it would have been. And we end our turn. We're still in pretty good shape. I mean, he has no creatures. We have Anchor to the Aether in our hand, so we can just go swing for 4, Anchor to the Aether your guy, and then, you know, play Whirler Rogue and get through for lethal, depending on what he plays. We may just play Whirler Rogue, too. That's not a good Anchor to the Aether target at all, so it's a little frustrating. Probably going to equip it, too. I may still use Anchor of the Aether on it. Acolyte of the Inferno, huh? I think that's still what we do, believe it or not, because it lets us get in for 4, and then the next turn we can play Whirler Rogue, make any one of our creatures unblockable. I don't know. I may just play Whirler Rogue instead of attacking into this thing. Rock Maulers, yeah, let's just play our Whirler Rogue. I can make something unblockable right now, and I guess I will. There's no huge incentive not to. So we'll make this unblockable. Tap these. Swing for 2. We are down to 11 minutes. So hopefully, we won that one. All right. Plenty of time to win game 3. Do I still leave Hitchclaw Recluse in? I mean, game 2, we saw 1 gear per Gear Crafter. I don't really think that's enough for Hitchclaw Recluse. But what do I bring in instead? I guess I bring back Stratus Walk, you know, as annoying as it was for me in game 1. It can be pretty great, you know, to help me push through for lethal. You know, he does have Skyraker Giant, which makes it a little less good, but oh well. Let's get Nissa this game. That'd be cool. Okay. We have a slow hand in terms of, like, playing creatures, but we can interact with his board, so I think I still keep it. We do have 3 lands, so okay, that's much better for me. Just getting the little Maritime Guard in our hand makes me infinitely happier. Leaf Gilder, who does help him ramp, but will not let him swing through our Maritime Guard, so does let him play a 4-drop right now, though, which is disheartening for us, to say the least. We really need to hit our 4th land, preferably an island, you know, if I can choose. Okay, Acolyte of the Inferno. Okay, we did hit a land. It's not an island, but I'll still take it. Do we anchor him to the Aether, the Acolyte? I think we do. He's, you know, going to be a huge problem otherwise. We'll first offer a trade that, you know, is incredibly unlikely that he takes. But if he takes it, you know, I'm happy. All right. So also let us scry, which is nice, and it also puts him a little further behind than he, you know, he's definitely ahead of us now, and this prevents that a little bit. Herald of the Pantheon. Yeah, I think I leave that. The creature is good right now, although we do have a lot of them, but we're probably going to play Llanowar Empath next turn anyway, since usually it's just going to be better than Maritime Guard. I mean, maybe I should have gone for land, because, yeah, this Acolyte of the Inferno is just going to... Actually, my Maritime Guard can block that. I didn't realize that. I thought it did more damage than it does. Alright, we're going to do some more scrying here. Play our Llanowar Empath. Okay, well, we get to draw the Sky Snare Spider if we put it on top, and then we draw our island next turn, which lets us play Rock Smaulers. So I think we put island on top, and then put Sky Snare Spider on top and draw it, and we end the turn. And we're going to draw an island. We know that. Alright. I block him. If I trade for a trick, I'm cool with that, since next turn we'll be able to drop a creature that can block him even better. So, okay. That does work for him, but he doesn't get Renown yet. Okay, Hitchclaw Recluse. Okay, so I'm just leaning towards playing Rock Smaulers here, and sort of, having a. It's just a trade, unfortunately, the way he works, and that's one reason I kind of don't want to play Rock Smaulers. Yeah, I think I play the Herald of the Pantheon and then play Claustrophobia on that thing, which will gain us a life. I just think it's too much of a problem, and if we can get to our 6th land, we'll be in pretty great shape. I don't really want to trade my Rock Smaulers, so I'm going to play the Herald. Then I'm going to play Claustrophobia on that guy. Gain our life. Synergy, man. So much. We also have a Stratus Walk, actually. So, yeah, we just end our turn there. Be great to just slam Sky Snare Spider next turn if we draw a land, but if we don't, playing Rock Smaulers is a good consolation prize. But the Sky Snare Spider can just dominate, and his deck's unlikely to have like an easy 1-for-1 solution for him. Ooh, that's not great. That is not great. We don't have any way to play 2 spells either. I think we just take it if he swings. If we can play our Sky Snare Spider, he can just sort of laugh that off and get like a 3-for-1 at worst. So we'll just take 4 here. And we did get the land we wanted for Sky Snare. I think I swing with both. He may have done this in anticipation of our Sky Snare, and he may have Wild Instincts. Which makes me... But it has Trample anyway. I mean, it's... And a Wild Instincts would be a 1-for-1 solution for him right now. But I think we have to make him play it if he has it. I'm just going to swing with the Llanowar Empath. Drop the Sky Snare Spider. And end the turn. So let's see if he has Wild Instincts or not. Doesn't look like he has Wild Instincts. It looks like he has a trick he wants to try to use. I'm just going to take 4. If he had Wild Instincts, he would have used it in the main phase. And now I have, a really good attacker. Yeah, so I think it was right to take the damage there. See what he hits with his Empath. Ghirapur Gearcrafter, okay. Alright. I think once again I swing with these. Actually, that could end up being a little more valuable, so I'll swing with both of those. Alright, the trade, no. Oh, wow, he's just going to take the 8. Okay, we know he has a Ghirapur Gearcrafter, and we can sort of counter that with our Aspiring Aeronauts in a turn, but for now I think we just play out the big Rock Smaulers. And in the turn, our opponent has Titanic Growth. Some pretty bad things could happen to us. But he's also inclined not to play 2 spells a turn, so... Do I double block? No, I think I just take it again. If he has Satanic Growth plus Giant, plus the freaking... Ugh. Maybe I do double block it. Maybe I put Sky Snare and Rock Maulers, then he uses the growth. No. I think we lose either way if he has those, because he blows us out one way, and this way, yeah, we'll just take it. Maybe I should have just thrown that in front of it to prevent some damage, because it is exactly 11 if he has Titan Strength. Ooh, Might of the Masses. That hurts. That does hurt. Quite a lot. And Titan Strength. That works too. All right. Our opponent beat us. Strong. We have a strong deck. I wish we had Disperse open. We sort of bluffed it, but we don't have it. So blocking there probably would have been the good call, but just with the Herald. But it's hard to know that. Combat Trick seemed likely, but not definite. So. All right, so we lost round 1, so we're definitely not going 3-0 again as we have in the last 3 I recorded. Some poor play on my part, like, namely not playing a land was pretty bad. So I'm sure we'll do better in the next 2 rounds because our deck is actually pretty good. It looks like our opponent actually dropped after he beat us. That is strange. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you for round 2. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.